And we're just getting ready. And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Freak Show. Tonight we have our special guest, all the way from sunny Ireland. It is Ryan Brown. Also, we have Mechanized up above you, Ryan.
Hello.
And we have Skelly, and we have Stig. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Please,
You're fond of my lobster.
Please say hello and join the chat so we can see who is online. They're all just starting on. Okay.
Right.
Oh.
Kev, do we get the next guest, please?
I think so, definitely.
We've broken the internet again.
Okay.
I could have kept that going for an hour.
Well, first of all,
They'd
guys,
be like, oh, shit.
I would
We've been tumbled.
like to welcome the amazing Ryan Brown, possibly one of the most epic artists out there in the world today. He is absolutely stunning. He's done artwork for 2000 AD, Marvel, DC, Dark Horse. Oh my gosh. Oh, absolutely stunning. Absolutely. The first time I ever saw Ryan's artwork, I was absolutely blown away. I think it was Judge Anderson versus Meme Machine was the first picture of yours I ever saw, and I was like, oh my god, absolutely crazy. If you have any questions, guys, start coming on and asking some questions. First of all, Ryan, just to get the party started, what is everybody drinking? What are you drinking, sir?
Shit. What am I drinking?
Yeah.
I'm drinking this kind of stuff here. I don't know. It's like a bongo or something. It's like, it's not Guinness. It's kind of like a weird, I don't know. It looks like something that came out of somebody's ear, you know? Or like, do you know what it actually looks like? It looks like, you know the way people get liposuction? Oh. It looks like a vat of that, doesn't it?
Did you actually...
From Marlon Brando's arse.
Okay, well, yes.
like
enema fallout.
It is. Did you pay for that
lovely.
or make it yourself?
Well, I found like a load of those little bags, transparent bags out the backyard, you know, and I just assumed that it was an order of drink. So I just brought it in and decanted it into my own like tins here, you know, and stuff. It's not bad.
Unbelievable. So first of all, I hope you're all well over in Ireland. I hope you've got a good stockpile of toilet rolls.
Yep, I've got a whole pile. My whole table is made of toilet rolls at the minute. Yep, we've made like various barriers and walls and stuff in the house. You know, we've separated the house off because we're not talking to each other at the moment.
Okay.
Me and Helena. So now we've got. Have you ever saw that TV series Steptoe and Son, where the maid the bar? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so we've made like barriers and walkways and runways and stuff, and sometimes I hear her and she's like scuttling away, you know, like scuttling through it, and I'm like poking away at like with large brushes and stuff like this.
But who's got control of the control side of the TV? That's the important one. If I remember my Steptoe.
That's right. Yes. Well, there's like strings attached to it, so like, you know, you can like pull the strings and it presses buttons and all.
That's cunning. You like swap the strings over.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't swap the strings.
Well, big shout.
Well, Mick Ramsey says you would drink anything anyway.
Cheeky.
Tell him to shut up.
Cheeky devil.
You just
Shut your face. Shut your face, Mick Ramsey.
It's always. I'm currently drinking.
I don't see you, Mick Ramsey, on like big podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
Where's your big podcast, Mick Ramsey?
He's hiding. He's hiding.
He's got
Where is it?
no answer to that.
It's I'm gonna poke him in the face.
To be.
Mick, get your face close to the thing. I'm gonna poke you with this brush.
To be fair, it's a Saturday night, and Mick's normally in his rubber gear.
Yeah.
You know what it's like.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we're all stuck in our houses. It's like captive audience now.
So.
It's brilliant.
Totally. Mechanized, what are you drinking?
well, I'm at my starter at the moment. At my starter beverage, my gin tonic.
Oh,
I'll tell you later what else I mix. I don't know yet. I've got my variety there sitting. So let's see.
Nice. You should do an espresso martini. Do an espresso martini. I love it. It's
that
like
sounds nice.
Oh, have you never had an espresso martini? No. They're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant.
I have to try one.
That's what I was going to do later.
Were you?
But I was going to do a Guinness
are
martini.
you slightly?
Shit! I've never had one of those. That's weird.
So we are slightly ahead of schedule
I
here.
think we're.
Stay
yes.
listening, and I'll give you the
Are
recipe.
you by any chance, Ryan, psychic?
Yeah, Jeet.
Well, yeah.
That's
yes,
called mother's
yes,
milk, by the way.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So Ryan, are you psychic? Because that's the rumor out there on the net.
Well, I actually am, but I don't like to talk about it, that much. But since you're talking about it, all right, then I will talk about it.
Well, on that note, can I test your powers?
Okay, yeah.
Hold on.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
You've got.
So,
okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Get your psychics on.
Right, I've got my psychics on.
Okay, I got a Judge Dredd helmet here.
Okay.
Now, psych, what's inside?
What is inside that helmet?
Hold on, let me.
Ooh, I can feel that. The connection.
Do you know what it is? I know what that is. I know what's in there. It's a, what do you call it? It's a bar of chocolate, right? That has been melted into one of those like little shape things that you make ice, the ice shapes, but it's a dinosaur one, right? An ice cube maker, right? The way you get the ones that are shaped, like dinosaurs. So it's like a bar of chocolate. It's a Kit Kat. It's a Kit Kat melted into the shape of a dinosaur, right?
Derek Cora
It is.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that what you're getting? Is that?
Yes, but there's 3 cat hairs in it as well. Because whoever made it has cats and they accidentally got a couple of cat hairs.
Okay.
Was it right?
Should I really reveal?
Was it
Shall we
right?
say
really
what is in there?
Okay.
How close were
How
you?
close?
Was it right?
close?
Was it right?
Hold on. I'm
Oh,
revealing.
pardon.
Holy shit, this is exciting. Hold on.
Dun, dun, dun. Look, it's a chocolate
four
dinosaur.
oranges.
5 oranges.
Holy shit. Oh, it's 5 oranges. Oh
Well,
my
you were
god.
close, kind
That's
of.
my
Very
competition.
close.
That was my
That
competition.
was.
Ah.
I thought you were going to get that one, honestly.
I know, god
It must
damn
be
it.
your beer.
It's
A beer
the
must be your
beer,
blocker.
yeah.
It is. That's
It's your
what it
psychic blocker. Jeez.
was last week, or maybe next week, is going to be a bar of chocolate melted into a dinosaur shape with like
I
3
gotta have a think.
cat hairs in it.
I gotta have a think about that one.
Sounds just like
Okay.
it. So a quick question from one of the audiences. When you were a kid, did you used to read comics? And also, if you did, what comics were you reading? What got you sort of into the whole comic drawing thing as a kid?
Well, I'm basically dyslexic, not basically, I am dyslexic, but, and I'm dyslexic, so I'm more of like a visual person, I don't really read an awful lot, well, it's another story, audiobooks and stuff, I listen to a lot of audiobooks and stuff, but, so my kind of language is visual, so I've been drawing since I was really, really young, and, but comic books and stuff, I think the first stuff that I ever read was, or mostly read through the images was Scream.
Yeah.
You know, like the UK sort of thing. And it was like all the horror in the Scream comic was like incredible. You know, there was like stories about a woman and a witch who had been like dunked in a river or in a pond, and her like skeleton was at the bottom of the river or the pond or whatever, and it would come up and, you know, grab people who were like swimmers that were swimming past and like drag them to the bottom, and when they would go down they would say, oh shit, the guy drowned because of the weeds were wrapped around their legs and stuff, you know. And what I found was recently that like Alan Grant and a whole pile of people from like 2000 AD had wrote a lot of those stories, you know. So it's kind of weird, you know, that but that was like a big influence, you know, that type of stuff. And I think with artwork it was like Simon Bisley, you know, his like Judgment in Gotham, you know, the painted sort of thing. And whenever I looked at that I thought, holy shit, you know, that's impressive. You know, it's like so dynamic, and how the hell it's like the atmosphere and, you know, all those poses and, you know, the render and stuff was just crazy, you know. And I thought to myself, holy shit, I want to do that, you know.
What sort of age were you at that point when you sort of realised you wanted to be a comic book artist?
Well, the weird thing about the comic art is I went to art college, but I mean, art college really in Northern Ireland, I mean, I learned nothing. I mean, basically the tutors, it's terrible. It's like art college in a lot of places. You learn basically nothing, and it put me off drawing for a load of years. And I only really got back into drawing when out of utter desperation, because I used to work in a martial arts shop, and it closed. I know this is the craziest story. It closed, and it was like, you know, holy shit, I need to get a job somewhere. So I tried getting jobs all over the place. Couldn't get a job anywhere at all because of the time it was. You know, it was like there just wasn't any jobs anywhere really. And Simon Bisley had said, do you want to color some of my stuff for like Legendary Entertainment, I think it was. And I did nothing at that point. You know, it was like, holy shit, okay, you know, it's a job, let's do it, you know. So I think we did around about like 2,500 pages between us. And it was absolutely crazy. I was like coloring 12 pages a day. And we were doing a full story of 22 pages in 2 days. You know, so it was utter insanity. But eventually, because I was basically painting over his work, his line art, I started painting a bit more and more, and it ended up to the point where it was sort of fully rendered and everything. So I slowly started producing my own artwork at that point. That was about 5.5 years ago.
Blimey. Wow.
Whenever I actually first got my first job working in IDW. And I think that was like the V-War series. Yeah. And that was my very first cover, and really my very first piece of art in absolutely years. And I had an utter shit attack because I thought to myself, I'm going to take this job, but I'm going to take it, but I have no idea how I'm going to do it, you know, because I was utterly full of doubt and didn't think I could actually, you know, do the cover. And it just sort of went from that point. That's a long story, isn't it?
Well, there are people asking, so we've got some questions coming in from Matt Firefly.
Okay.
What programs for art do you use?
Well, I use Photoshop. I've used it since it came out, but in reality, you don't need an expensive graphics tablet. You don't need an expensive computer. You don't need the latest version of Photoshop. Whenever I use Photoshop, I use like just a standard round brush. You know, none of the gadgets, none of the fancy brushes, none of the filters or any of that type of stuff. Just basically bog standard Photoshop. Again, it's down to you know, the program isn't going to do the work for you. People have this weird sort of opinion. They say, "Is it hand drawn?" You know,
Yeah.
It's like stunning.
Yeah, but you know, that's what I use when I'm drawing, like on Photoshop, you know, and you draw it like this, you know. So it's
Tickles. Sorry.
Sorry, that was the psychic.
Psychic
Hold on.
bit.
And you use that thing at the end of your arm, your hand.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you could say it's sort of hand drawn.
Yeah, and it's no difference to that, which is a paintbrush. You know what I mean? It's now obviously there's advantages and disadvantages to both. You know, to Photoshop and hand paint or painting something on a piece of paper or drawing on a piece of paper. You know, but my idea is I want to do things on Photoshop the way I would do it traditionally anyway. So I want to transfer those skills over. So if you're drawn on Photoshop, it's all about composition, pose, and textures, and you know, the atmosphere, the lighting, and the color, you know, and anatomy. It's not. I mean, you could maybe fake some of that. You could put models in there, and you could put like photographs of people's faces or whatever. But when it then comes to you doing that on paper, you're not going to be able to reproduce it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you're doing yourself a disservice in a sense. I think. Unless the job, you've got a job and you have to get them out really fast, you know, if you know, maybe you can cut corners then. But I'm always of the opinion that, you know, a skill is worth having, and, you know, it's something, you know, skills are disappearing, and art is a skill, and it has a lot of laws to it, you know, composition and lighting and atmosphere, and you know, how to use color and stuff. There's so many rules to it, you know, so, and it's well worth learning.
Yeah.
You know, it'll change the way you actually think, you know, about things as well.
Yeah.
You know,
it's often the case when you see something that's wrong, you think, why is that wrong? And it's almost easier to do it that way than
it is, of course.
That's a brilliant photograph. Why does that work? It's much easier to see why doesn't it work. Yeah,
that's exactly it. Look, we can all look at a drawing that somebody's done of a face, and we can say, you know, that looks wrong. There's something wrong about that, but sometimes we can't pick out exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and that's our face that's our mind, because we look at faces so often, you know, but that we get confused by a face as well. Whenever you go to try and draw a face, you usually have these kind of things. A visual library of what your belief of a face is. So everybody draws the circles and the whatevers and the little mouth and a big round head sort of thing. But a lot of the time they're not drawn what an actual face is, because you need to build a visual library up, you know, over a long time, you know, over a lot of years of looking at the details and stuff and sticking that in your head. That's why whenever you see somebody that you admire, an artist, and they're at a convention and they're drawing something in front of you, a lot of that is the visual library in their head. You know, they've drawn those things over and over and analyzed every little piece of that. And maybe it only takes them 10 minutes to draw that image, or even, you know, 1 minute to draw that image, but it took absolutely years to develop the skills to be able to. So sometimes, like, I'm really impressed by people who, like, do a sketch and they scribble it out, and you
with
can
a big pen.
Yeah, and you can see where they've basically put the lines in they need to put in to show that you know, that image, how to represent that, and that's a lot of years of development. Again, as I was saying, you know, so it's those scribbles are, you know, impressive. To me, I find those more impressive. I think it's because I come from a very, very detailed, fine-tuned, you know, I really work everything, you know, and I don't sketch as much, you know, but, you know, I find that, you know, it's always what you don't do, you're more impressed by.
But I think your style is so unique, and there is nobody out there. You can see any of your comics, your covers, and know it's a Ryan Brown. The level of detail and the, like, photorealistic, it's, you know, it's such an amazing
Yeah.
Well,
style.
that's why,
There is
why you are at the place you are.
But there's so many.
But here,
Yeah, no.
But there's so many artists that have very similar styles, whereas yours is completely different to everybody's. And also, because of the amount of detail, how long does it take you to do a cover? You know, what are your process steps from getting the email through saying, "Hey Ryan, can you draw this?" to actually sort of finishing it,
Well,
because of the detail in, you know, you
yeah. See, the first thing is that's interesting is I never thought that I had a style. You know, I didn't think I had a style at all. I didn't think that my stuff would be recognizable, and that's one of the weird reasons why I actually put my name on covers really big. You know, because I think to myself, people aren't going to actually know that that's my stuff because it looks generic. But I think, I mean, I've heard people say before, I'm looking for my style. And I genuinely think that you shouldn't look for a style. I think you should. It should just happen. You know, it should just evolve. And because a style is, you know, I look at a lot of art and then I say to myself, oh, I like that art. So I kind of want to steal what I like about that person's art. And then I go to another person. See, if you were inspired by just one person, then you would look like a copy of that person. But if you're inspired by like 6 or 7 people, then you take little elements of each of those people and you kind of add it to your artwork. And it means that your artwork then will have a style of its own, you know, because and it'll not look like an imitation of, you know, things. Now, sometimes people say that my stuff looks a bit like certain people's artwork or whatever, and sometimes I think whenever you go to do a piece of art, sometimes you kind of like, it's like you summon the spirits of some particular artist, you know, and you kind of, you know, you think I want to do this like this person, and you know, but they also say that the people that they can't, you know, see their style, it's only because they've hidden their inspirations. You know, it's because they're not talking about their inspirations and you can't see their inspirations, you know, but everybody, I mean, nobody comes out of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anybody just comes up and says,
in music,
you know,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's the same in music. Yeah. So some people, they're just copycats of others' fame.
Yeah.
And then you have people who actually evolve in their own music. And I think these are the ones, and that's the music which grabs me the most.
Yeah. I don't think anything is wrong. You know, I think even people who imitate other people, I don't think that's wrong either, because you're just looking at something and saying, you know, I really like that. And why can't they do that? You know, why can't they do it? It's, you know, I just don't. If you just sort of went and said, okay, right, if you weren't honest about it, I think it all comes down to honesty. I think that's what a lot of the art comes down to, honesty. And, you know, if you're honest about your inspirations, you say, I really like Simon Bisley's stuff, or I like blah, 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 whatever. And people say, well, I can see that through your artwork. Then there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, you know, absolutely nothing wrong. But as you were saying about like the process or whatever, it's, I would do like really scribbly sketches. And it's like, if you imagine, at the beginning stage of like a piece of artwork, I would do it and it would really, really blurred out, just like light sources and basic anatomy, just the composition and light sources. And it would give me an idea of the direction. And it's almost like then you would work it up and work it, and so that it's sort of coming into focus. But everything would roughly stay where it was, you know, from the beginning point to the end point. It's literally, you have to get that kind of silhouette of everything right at the beginning, the sketch point of the thing and the light sources, you know, but you refine and refine and refine. You literally go over the whole image and keep going over. But I wouldn't just pick a spot and like detail that one spot and then move over and detail. I literally go to work, so that you can see the whole thing coming into focus. You know, because when you're doing a cover, you want to have the space at the top for the title. You have to have a bit of blank space around certain areas for other text they're going to put on there. And also you've got like a bleed border, so they're going to cut off a part of the art at each thing. So you don't want any major stuff on the outskirts, unless you want something like a dramatic image where you want it to look like
burst out.
Something's it's bursting out of the that type of thing, you know. So sometimes, depending on time, I'll work digitally, and other times I'll work, you know, traditionally. But whenever I work either ways, it's very hard to tell what one's what, you know, because they look very similar.
Okay.
Well, can I just, Kevin, your microphone is apparently not very loud. They can't really proper hear you.
Okay.
No, not you, not Ryan.
Is that better?
Kevin.
Right. Sorry, I've just adjusted that. I've
just turned mine up.
I don't know if the people in the chat can tell us if you can hear Kevin.
Hopefully, I'm a bit louder now. So what we're doing now, we have a special game we play every show. So I've got the Casket of Doom. And what it is there are 16 of the world's most formidable fighters in here. Every show we take 2 out. And then one is designated for you, Ryan. Go Batman, go Team Batman. The other one is Skellyweg. He gets the other one. You then have 30 seconds to explain to the audience why your fighter should win and kick the arse of the other one. And then we put it to the audience vote, and then we get the vote in at the end. Okay, are you ready? Let me just get the Casket of Doom. So last fight, the first fight we had who did well? Last episode.
Jar Jar Binks versus a Tribble.
And Jar Jar won. And then the last episode we had Harry Potter versus
Mary Poppins.
Take a zip, get ready, Ryan.
Harry Potter
Get ready.
Harry Potter versus the Daleks. So.
And then it was Mary Poppins against...
versus someone that you made up. Because there's not clearly not enough characters out there in the real world.
All right then. So,
not enough.
So Ryan, your fighter is going to be David Hasselhoff. So you have David Hasselhoff. Okay, Skelly, you have Ronald McDonald.
Oh my!
So Ryan, you have 30 seconds to convince the audience why David Hasselhoff is going to kick McDonald's bum. Over to you, sir.
Okay, because he's got nice hair and stuff, and he was in that car that had the lighty thing on it, and then he also like has this smile and stuff, and he's always on the beach, and he has those little pants and stuff. And what else does he do? He's like been in loads of stuff, and he's like really friendly and stuff. He's a bit like the Fawns, and he's got like weirder hair, you know, and I don't know. And I was on his beach as well. I was on the beach, and he was like Santa Monica, and I don't know. But that's probably 30 seconds.
That's got to be 30 seconds.
No.
That's got to be 30 seconds. Okay, now.
Just let him go. Let him do it.
I'm just going to keep talking.
Okay, now.
I was pouring a drink. See, I could do that. I could do that with my eyes closed, and I was doing that pouring a drink as well.
We've got to
I'll just do this while you do your part.
We've got to vote for the Hoff already.
Talented, yeah.
Well, it's not me. It's Patrick.
Okay, Skelly, over to you. Why would Ronald McDonald win?
Yeah.
All right.
Before you start,
hold on to time.
All ready to go.
No, but also Mark Standing wants to know if he's going to be Welsh.
Well, we have to listen and find out.
Go on then, Pat.
Are we going? Right, it all comes down to weaknesses. See, the Hoff's greatest weakness is his hair. Don't touch the hair. Ronald McDonald, he's got nice hair, but it's a weave. He doesn't mind if it gets touched. It's synthetic and can probably withstand flamethrowers. And also, burgers. David Hasselhoff is partial to a burger, be it on the floor when he's drunk, be it on a well-presented table. Ronald McDonald, you mess with me, sir? No more burgers for you. David Hasselhoff, he throws down the towel, he taps out immediately. Ronald's like, that's right, bend over and assume the position, jump in your car.
Okay.
Hey! That's it, I'm out
Welsh,
here.
it turns out. It's coming
I'm out of here.
He's Welsh. He is Welsh as well.
No, too late.
From the valleys.
So David Hasselhoff, guys, or Ronald McDonald. So one of the other things people have been asking, Ryan, is about your mystic powers, your psychic painting.
They've been asking. Okay, well,
would you like to give us a demonstration of what it is?
Actually, I usually don't.
Mick Ramsey did say it was psychotic more than psychic.
Oh,
psychotic!
Shut up, Mick Ramsey. Shut up. See that there, Mick Ramsey? Put your eye to the screen.
Yeah, that's it.
Put your eye to the screen.
Ow!
Oh, sorry, I got the wrong.
Yeah.
The problem is with psychic powers is you sometimes get the wrong person. I'll try and get again.
Yeah. It's not like the NHS. The NHS is under strain already, and there's loads of people going in with poked-in eyes now.
That's for you, Mick. That's for you. Right? Yes, I know you brought up. I'm a very shy and quiet man who doesn't like to boast about his. But since you have said about the psychic painting, I'm just gonna have to demonstrate to you. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. I'm gonna take this. I think this is a number 8 brush. Okay, so that you know that I'm not lying. It is a number 8 brush. Okay.
Number 8 brush. Yeah.
And if you all can get like a piece of paper and just put it right at the screen, just about there. Okay. Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't
Hold
see
on
him now.
Somebody put it in the wrong place. Move it over a wee bit. Yep, there you go. Okay, I'm going to draw you all a picture. Okay, I want to see I'm going to draw you all a picture. So here it comes.
You don't get this on the BBC.
Hold on.
I can't see what's going on. There's a piece of paper in the way.
It just keeps tickling my nose. I know, under my arms as well.
Oh.
You've got the beer over.
Oh, sorry. It's got out of control.
Cloth. I need the cloth.
It's got out of control. Well, there you go.
No.
That should be there. There should be. How many people are watching? 2. There should be two lovely pictures out there for you. Okay, I hope you are happy.
So afterwards, we get the people to send in the pictures that you drew.
Yes, I would like to see those pictures because I know what they look like in my eye, my mind's eye, but it's hard to tell,
in the real
whether
world.
It came out. Yeah, hold on, if the lint myself again. So a bit of like cat fluff there.
A quick question from me. So if you were, because DC and Marvel, they may hopefully eventually at some point do a crossover. Oh my God!
The Joker.
Which two characters? What character from Marvel and what character from DC? If you could have your dream cover of them fighting together, who would you go for?
Okay. Do you know there is one? Do you know there is one called Corona?
Is there? What, after a beer or after a?
That's not your.
After the beer.
Okay.
That's not your Corona.
Yeah, my Corona. Right. So yes, I don't know what I would do. I had a big list of I didn't write it down, but I had a big list in my head of characters I wanted to draw, and I love drawing the Joker and stuff, So I would have to use the Joker, but like for the DC stuff and Marvel. I don't know. God, Doctor Doom's good.
Doctor Doom.
I like all the dark stuff. I like all the dark.
Is
stuff.
there anywhere that you can actually buy any of your comics from? Your super duper limited edition covers.
Those. Yeah, you can there's lots of different places you can buy any of the ones that are direct from Marvel or you can buy from any of your local comic shops
sales?
And stuff. Oh. But yeah, carpets, yes, that's it. Pound shops, and yeah, they should have a good stock of them. But you can there's a company in America called Comics Elite, and they do a lot of I do a lot of exclusive covers for them. Did a lot of Marvel DC sort of covers and stuff, and there's a lot more coming out in the near future.
I've just put the link on the chat, by the way, and we put it on the.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
And for the UK, there's like comic book guys in Belfast. They a lot of time they would get a lot of my covers and stuff in, and I would sign them or whatever, and they would like put them on their website or whatever. So, you can sort of buy the stuff off them as well. So, but usually any of the standard Marvel covers you can get from any of your local comic shops and stuff.
Well, Mick Ramsey would like to know, what was your favorite book character as you were a child?
I don't know, book character.
Comic book.
Comic.
Oh, comic. Well, it was all the Scream stuff. It was all the Scream because it was like it had Dracula in it and it had a whole pile of other stuff, Frankenstein type stories, and it was really creepy, for that sort of, whenever I don't know what age it was, maybe about 10 or something like that, and it was creepy as hell. And I love it because horror is extremely powerful. It's like a powerful emotion, and excuse me, I keep burping because of this this beer. And,
Beverage,
oh, that's right. Yes, and but yeah, I mean, it is definitely all the kind of horror stuff. It's like I did some creepy Scream. Yeah. No, not Scream. Creepy covers. I did some creepy covers for Dark Horse just before the whole run ended, and I was supposed to do a lot more of those. I was supposed to do the full run, but unfortunately it ended and stuff. But it's sort of good sometimes because when you're doing one character, it's sometimes interest. I like to move about because I sometimes get a bit bored, with drawing the same thing. It was like I was drawing like Carnage and stuff last year a lot. It was like Venom and then Carnage basically being like red, it's like just a red version of the black Carnage guy or Venom guy. So it's like, oh my God, I'm drawing all these veins again, and it's like, oh Jesus. You need a palette cleanser, you know what I mean? So like you move to a different, and that's why I sometimes do even like weird stuff. Like I did a Gwen Stacy cover and everything, which is her like sitting at like her mirror, like putting makeup on and stuff and chatting on the phone. It's like, but you need to do stuff like that or else you go a bit crazy,
Is there anything you don't like painting? Sometimes some artists don't like, have trouble with hands or horses or something like that. Is there anything that you sort of go, oh God, like badgers or...
Badgers, no, I actually like badgers and stuff and squirrels and all those things. And no, I find, what the secret is? I find all of it equally as hard to draw. Oh. So therefore, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like, and I speak to my wife, Helena. I say to her, I think this is going to be an easy cover. And she just laughs and goes, none of them are easy. None of them are easy. It's like somebody that's been in Vietnam or something, It's like she just looks at me with like eyes staring off into the distance, like the
1,000-yard stare.
That's it. That's everything. Because I torture the life out of everybody. It's like, I don't think this is right. Is this right yet? Look at the state of that's not right, isn't? And even when I'm lying in bed, I'm like, I don't think that cover's right. There's something wrong with this. And it's literally absolute psychological torture,
Do you show any of your work to the missus to get her feedback? Because if you sort of work at home, it's quite hard to,
That's what I do. That's what I mean. That's what's drove her crazy. Yeah. Absolutely hates it now. Absolutely hates it because it's like constantly me just going, I think that arm's weird. Is there something weird about that arm? Is the arm weird? Is the arm weird? What about the arm? Is the arm weird?
The eyebrows.
Something weird about the arm. Yeah, that's it. And then she wakes up in the morning, I've got like the picture. Is the arm weird? Is that weird? Is that arm weird? What about that? And then I spend like 3 days and I move like one finger like to that or something. Is that better? Does that look better now? It's... but you have to think about it is like an artist spends maybe, I spend 4 days basically doing a cover. And I would spend all 4 days sitting, drawing every single line and dot on that cover. And I'll look at that and I'll see every single mistake.
But for myself, I sometimes, if I do something intense, I just have to walk away because I will stop seeing the issues. Yeah. So I did the same with you. So I just have to really cut off go elsewhere, do something totally different, and come with a fresh mind.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my mind goes blind.
Oh, totally. See, if I ever do anything intense, I usually go like that before I walk out of them because I hit the tent doors. Oh, intense! I thought you said intense. I had to wait for you to finish that whole sentence for me to come in with my really shit joke.
Wasn't it worth it?
No.
I've got a question to put you on the spot. Which character would you like to draw that you haven't done yet?
I don't know.
There must be some out there you go, I'd love to get the grip.
Mad Max.
Oh, yeah. Did I was just trying to think. No, I haven't drawn Mad Max before, but yeah. I do like the kind of dystopian stuff, you know. I don't know. I've drawn so many things, so many. See, last year I did maybe about 45 covers, right? So 45 covers of like so many characters, you know, Lady Death and Doctor Doom and Galactus and Joker and Batman and Spider-Man and bloody everything, you know, absolutely everything. And it's like,
I've not seen that one.
Oh,
bloody everything! Yeah,
bloody everything! Yeah, I don't know because there's like I'm running through the list, but I'm getting to the point where I'm like confused now. What have I drawn? But I do like drawing like Wolverine stuff. I haven't really had a chance to like draw Wolverine as like standard Wolverine, like on a cover. Excuse me, I got a burp again. But
Duck.
I'd like to, Wolverine's good, and maybe even what the hell? What do you call that guy from Image?
Pingu?
Oh no, not him. What is that guy? You know, with the big cape and he's got all the chains and he's got the like
Spawn.
Grandmaster Flash.
Spawn, yes. I would maybe like to draw Spawn. It's
not Grandmaster Flash. Oh, for God's sake!
That's it. Yes.
Some guy said you could draw a comic, CD cover for us. A lot of people recommended on the chat. A lot of people recommended that. So maybe we have to have a chat after.
We definitely. Also...
for yous? Oh, right. Okay. I thought you meant loads of people in the chat were saying I should draw covers for them.
No.
I was like, that would be weird.
Forget
you know?
V2A cover.
Yeah, we would definitely have to get you one for that. So the next article, we have 2 toys. So what we do is we've got a little section called Bunker or Bin, where we find the world's best knockoff toys.
Ooh.
Oh, so let me just try and pull this up.
These are high quality.
So this is on your. This is on your. We've sent it to your phone. So this is the.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Just make sure you get the picture. It's the 2 we showed you just before.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Let me...
I don't even know where I'm looking. Got it.
Those 2.
Oh no! Oh yeah, got it.
Got it.
Right, okay.
So initial thoughts. So we have New Style Ninja Tortoise, which is sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Where have I heard of that before?
I like the way they've got the dimensions are good on it as well, aren't they? What an action figure!
Yeah, can people see these pictures?
Yes, they can. They can see them on the screen.
They can see on the chat.
I love the Ninja Tortoise. I love the way his eyes are really close together. It's like, and his body is like what? It looks like a hamburger or something. Doesn't it? It's like what's going on there?
I think he's eating all the pizzas.
I think he has.
Yeah, and the thing about it, that's weird as shit, isn't it? That's weird as shit. You know, I don't know. I would have to kind of say I kind of like that. I really like that one. And I kind of go.
Or the other one onto the right hand side of the screen.
Oh, it's just so lovely. It's so lovely. Oh, look at that.
The Karen action figure.
Love.
Karen action figure. That's my favourite.
She will speak to your manager.
She has even a flop, you know.
Absolutely.
Pardon?
The thing about it is, I feel
I don't know
bit
what
bad.
she needs a flop for, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel a bit bad, like not picking the Ninja Tortoise one because, like, Kevin Eastman's a nice guy and stuff, and but I feel that I do like the Karen one. You know, I think the Karen one. I like the trousers.
Yeah, that's it. That's a flop.
Yeah, there's like
with the Karen one, I like the way they've really gone to town on the packaging. I mean, there is some serious money spent on that.
Yeah. Proper action. That's like action.
How did they get that font? Jeez.
But if you notice, she's got like a thigh gap as well. She's got a thigh gap there.
But she's not posable though.
Oh, are you sure?
That's what it says on there.
It says she's not.
Oh, shit.
You can't read this bit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think is it something about speaking to your manager or something? Is that what they're?
I think it's on the top. So from an artistic point of view, because you are our expert, packaging wise, which one would you go for?
Me?
The tortoise
for the bunker.
Karen.
For the bunker, taking hold of the bunker.
One goes in the bunker.
To take. Right. Okay. So for the bunker, I'm gonna go with a Karen one. Because everybody should have a Karen. Everybody should have a Karen action figure.
No,
I could do one
why.
actually. Could you send me the details of that? Because I wanna get a copy of. I want one of those from a room. You know.
Would you collect
why?
That's
yeah. Now the reason why.
Because see,
she's that's actually 6 foot tall.
Oh, sure, that's all right. That's even better. Because if you ever have a problem about anything, you've had your dinner or something, you can just take her out of your pocket and stuff, and she'd be like, I want to speak to your manager, So I just take it out and set it on the table, while I'm eating my Chinese dinner.
If you were the creative director then for the Karen line, what other action figures would you design for the Karen? So you could collect them
family.
Yeah.
I don't know, you need Karen, you need like a Cecil one or something, or a Marjorie with a sort of action handbag. Yeah, that's it. Yes, Marjorie. Yeah, Marjorie is like about 60, and she goes to crochet classes and stuff, and she likes to tell everybody she doesn't drink, but she has like a wine and she has a small drink while she was making her dinner. And what else does she do? She watches EastEnders and Coronation Street on loop.
Wow.
Proper action. That's action.
Yeah. No, that's gonna go on to the packaging and stuff. That all goes like on the bottom. And it's like, yeah. And then there's like a bubble that comes out of her mouth. It says, I don't really drink, and I love my crocheting. You can squeeze her back, and like the sound comes out of her.
Different action voices. That'd be amazing. Okay, so if everybody online want to vote for either the new style Ninja Tortoise or Karen, one is for the bunker, one is for the bin. So our legend Ryan is selecting. Was it Karen? Karen for the bunker?
Yes.
Oh, tickle. Stop tickling.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Oh shit. My powers are just
strong.
Are you allowed to tell the fans what you're currently working on, or not?
I could maybe show them
what has just been released. Yeah.
I'll show you what I'm working on right now. Okay. I'm working on right now.
Can I just say, it's not looking good for Karen, I'm afraid. Oh!
Looks like you copied that of me.
Yeah, it's the Hulk.
It's the Hulk.
It's the Hulk.
It's not a cross-dressing Wolverine.
You can see that on the fingers.
It's Wolverine with high heels.
Yeah,
it's the Hulk. Oh, sorry, you maybe didn't think that it looked like the Hulk. Let me put the muscles on.
Yeah, that might help. That's a bit of a giveaway.
Hold on. There you go. It makes sense now.
That is.
Totally.
That is the Hulk.
And there's you claiming it takes you 4 days to do a cover.
See?
Hello, Marvel, I've done it.
You're rumbled now.
Yep.
Come on, Luke, we're going down the pub.
No, I'm working on a Fantastic Four cover at the minute, and I finished what did I finish? Joker Harlequin cover for for Comics Elite. It should be coming out at some point. I'm not sure when because of all this kind of upset and stuff. But and what else have I done? I did a Batman cover for Comics Elite as well. And I have a couple of other things for Marvel. So yeah.
Have you ever
can't really say much?
Yeah. Have you because of your covers are so popular and you're becoming so well known? Is there any moves to do in go into sort of like a computer game or anything to use your style, your graphics or your artwork?
I did like a promotional image for the new Avengers game. I did that last year. I don't think the game's out yet. No. But they wanted to promote the thing with like limited edition prints and stuff. And I did the UK one for that.
Like a sort of steelbook type thing.
It was just a big print. It was a big print. You know, it was like a big A3 size, like print thing. And I did that, but I did bits and pieces and stuff for films and things, but not really like video game stuff. I've did stuff for like Fox, and I've worked on what was the last stuff I did? I did concept work for Hellboy, the last Hellboy film, but the concept stuff that I used wasn't used for the film. It's probably a good thing.
The film was a bit of a stinker.
Josh Ender's got quite a good question. Have you done an art book sort of compilation thing at all? Is there like collected works of?
It's got to be coming soon.
Is there one in the pipeline?
I see. Before I started work for Marvel, I was putting together a horror book. It was going to be like a 40-page, like 40 illustrations, so 80 pages, and it was going to be all like local, like from Ireland. It was like going to be all like real creepy horror. And I did 10 illustrations, and then Marvel started contacting me about like doing covers. So I had to put it on the side. Yeah, I know. I know. But
you follow the money, things. Follow the coin.
I know it's one of those things, but it's like I always wanted to work for like or do Marvel like characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I've got this, this project sitting in the background. I haven't did anything with it for like a year now, But at some point I want to go back to that, and I'm going to put it on like Kickstarter or whatever, and see how it goes. But I want to do something really, high quality, really good. Every page is like a cover, and get it printed like a hardback sort of thing, and
collectible.
Do a good job of it and stuff. But again, it's about getting time, because. Literally at the minute I just work 24/7, it's like it's every hour there is, and there's no free time, and it just doesn't seem to be slowing down, but at some point I'm going to try and make some space for that project, because I will do it at some point. I will do it definitely, but
So do you do any cons at all? I'm just thinking about, I assume you don't walk around town with that banner stuck to your back.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Well, it's taller than mine. That's why.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. Like I was at Chicago Comic Convention there a load of months ago, and I was supposed to do. I did New York last year, and God, I can't remember a few other ones. I used to. Yeah, at the minute it is a lot of the American ones, but I do like some of the good ones that I've been to over the last few years was like the 2008 convention in Bristol, Lawgiver and or Lawless now, and the other one Nice, run by Jeff, in Bedford.
Yeah,
really good conventions, But I haven't really done a lot of UK ones recently. Like there was a couple of years ago there, I was doing like maybe 13 or 14 conventions in the year. But I can't do that now. It just takes too much time up and stuff, So Yeah. So, which is pity because it's good fun. You know?
Yeah. So a question from me: who, if you're out on a night on the pop, what other artists would you class as the Wild Bunch?
Well, we know some of them now.
Oh yeah.
We witnessed them.
Who would be in the crazy gang?
Well, Simon Bisley. You know, Simon Bisley is like, you know, he's like a good laugh to go out drinking and stuff, you know, and Glenn Fabry as well. He used to live over in Belfast and we would go out drinking and stuff. And, you know, yeah, I mean, I went out drinking with Kevin Eastman, as I was saying before, you know, and went out with a lot of different people, but, I've had a lot of fun with as I was saying, the Comics Elite people. There's the guy that runs that, Sean. You know, whenever I go out there, everybody would go out drinking and stuff, and it'd be good fun, you know. And you know, different people over here, you know, I would go out drinking with and stuff. You know that you know, that guy David Willers, he does a lot of color and stuff for comics, and does a lot of his own artwork and stuff as well, and.
So I don't know. So when you...
Mark McCann, who's like a writer, he writes stuff for like you know, 2000 AD, and he writes stuff for Heavy Metal magazine and stuff as well. But yeah. I mean, usually whatever. The thing about it is because you're working so much, you know, you're working all the time. Yeah. So literally anytime you get out to, you know, to get drinking or whatever, it's like it just turns. It goes from like, I'm only going for 2 drinks.
I'll be back.
Like, off the cliff really quickly. You know? But I know there was times when we were at conventions, like, and yous have been there, and like Simon Bisley and Glenn Fabry and stuff, and it would be literally it'd be drinking to like 6 a.m. or whatever, and it's like it's not good for your liver or anything, you know. It's like it probably ages you 10 years, you know, for that one night, you know. But
well,
it's worth it.
We played a gig.
The memory.
We played a gig in Wales where Simon was there. And he was very, very drunk, so we had Simon, like the 7-foot Simon at the front of the audience going mad.
Headbanging, stage banging.
So every time I talk to Simon, he goes, I want to play bass for V2A. I want to play bass.
Oh, right. You should get him, dude. He's very good. He's very good.
Also, Boo Cook's coming on soon, and Boo is very good. He's a right laugh, and he's a very good drummer, actually.
Yeah. Have you heard any of his music? It's really good.
Is it? No.
It's very good. I didn't. I wasn't saying no, it isn't. But it is really good because I actually downloaded some of it. I can't remember what it was. Some website or whatever.
Russian side, I bet, isn't it?
What was it?
From a Russian side, I bet.
Oh, that's what it was, yes. But it was absolutely brilliant. It was like all creepy and stuff, all in the woods. It was like all this stuff crackling and people like laughing and stuff in the background and everything. It was just completely disturbing, but it was brilliant, and I loved sitting working to it and stuff. And again, my wife would come in like from work, and I'd be sitting there working away with a pencil, and this crazy music of all like these satanic things going on in the background. And I'm like smiling all work. It's just like, oh my god, he's like hit another level of madness.
Do you have any tips for people who are now forced to work at home, seeing that you have, and you might have some ideas of if you're stuck at home working?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, right? It actually the first probably year, whatever, I almost went insane because being at home on your own, it is hard. And I'll tell you, you just don't want to do it. It is absolutely awful. You know, you just don't want to be at home on your own.
We have no chance now. If we have to sit.
I know, but
wherever we are.
I was just traumatizing everybody. Do you notice that? I was like, you were saying, have you got anything that would help everybody? You know, because they're like, you know, everybody's stuck at home. But I'm just saying, you know, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to enjoy it. Let me look at that eye. Does that look like somebody who enjoys being at home? No, it's terrible. No, but here's the thing, right? the way everybody goes, oh, I would love to draw, but I just don't have any time and I don't have whatever. I would love to like do pole vaulting or like juggling or like face painting or, you know what I mean? Or like whittling. You know, I'd love to whittle a big piece of wood into a smaller piece of wood.
Toothpick.
You know? Yeah, I would love to crochet a whole blanket the size of my room and just get underneath it. You know, the whole, it's lots of sizes of Spider-Man. Like, they're like, what do you call it? Crocheted onto them, you know? Well, then, this is your time.
It is.
Stop sitting and doing shit all and get there and start crocheting.
Yeah.
I want to see those. Yeah, I want to see that.
You don't want to see mine. No,
blanket.
You don't want to see mine. I'll tell you that now.
You know, because it's either you do that or you start drinking. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But,
cheers.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
but, or you could just drink and crochet as well.
I think you probably.
Well, that could be terribly wrong if I would do it. I tell you.
Yeah, I think you get more.
Well, maybe I should.
Too.
Maybe I should do it. Maybe I should.
More artistic.
Me too.
Crocheting, serving over the sheet.
Yeah.
So Ryan, when you go out for a night on the pop, are you normally sort of trying to down loads of umbongo or imbongo? What is your chosen poison?
No, I kind of I mostly drink beer, right? But there was a time when it was in San Diego Comic Convention, and a friend of mine, Greg, who's like an editor, he said, "Do you want to go out?" And he brought me to this like lock-in kind of crazy this bar where you literally have to go. This is in San Diego. You went into a bar and went out the side of the bar, and there was like all these like beer kegs. And you had to push the beer kegs, and it was a fake wall, right, into this secret bar, right?
Oh wow!
So we went into a secret bar. There was a woman sitting with a red light shining on her, and she was sitting there, and you had to tell her the password, or you didn't get in. And the password changes, and you only get it if you're on the mailing list, right? God. So he brought me in, and we went into this place, and on the walls was all skulls and everything. It was crazy. Everybody's looking to see who's coming in because like there's only a handful of people in this bar, and this bar guy is making these cocktails, like stabbing the ice and making like all these shapes and stuff and putting it in. And he says to me, what do you want to drink? And I was like, beer. And he was like, they don't do beer here. It's all like cocktails. And I was like, oh my God, right? This is my nightmare, you know, because I only basically drink beer. And so then we had to go through all these crazy cocktails and stuff. And that night was my introduction to cocktails. And from that point on, I love a cocktail every once in a while, you know, and my favorite is like vodka or espresso martinis.
Yeah, you tried, yeah.
I know they are the best things ever. Oh my God. And you get them and they're like in these little tiny glasses that are just like effeminate glasses. And I'm sitting there like sipping away and absolutely loving them. And it's just the best thing ever.
Because
it's like
because a glass.
I love a gigantic stinking beer or one of those little tiny espressos to like sip on.
Judge Enzo wants to know what your favorite beer
Pinky
is.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, beer.
What's your
see, I did love Guinness and stuff, but I do love the way when you go to England, you know, each pub has their own like local beers and stuff. Yeah. And you can like go in there and get something different, you know, because I like trying some different stuff. And in like Belfast, they've started doing that over the last couple of years. And I kind of like dark, like stout type beers. Yeah. But I also like everything. I like beer. If it's beer, I just like it. You know?
But not lager.
No, I'll drink that as well. Yeah, I'll drink anything. Yeah, I'm not fussy. Well, I'll not.
I'll drink anything.
Yeah, except for I'll not drink Budweiser. I used to drink Budweiser years ago when I was like really young, and I will not touch that shit. Yeah. It's awful. It's diabolical. Yeah. Totally.
Well, when it's alcohol to drink, what's the point of drinking Bud?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I know it's diarrhea. It's like transparent diarrhea.
Mark, did we have a winner on the Celebrity Thunderdome between David Hasselhoff and Ronald McDonald?
We have We have. Yeah, I think it's a pretty well. It's whitewash. I think that the Hoff has it. I'm afraid.
Yeah!
I'm afraid.
No McDonald's for anyone in the apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. See that?
I demand a recount.
What does Batman say about it? Hold on. What do you think about that, Batman? I think that's really, really good.
How about that, though? So you won with David Hasselhoff. Amazing.
Yeah.
So, Mechanized, a quick question from you then. So you've got a truth and a lie. Do you want to go into that and explain what that's about?
You mean me?
Yes.
Never have I ever.
Yes, go for it.
Ever?
Never have I ever.
Go on then.
Okay, so that's a new one. I don't know how it's going, but yeah, let's try it. So, never have I ever, and then our audience has to choose. Have I ever played tennis with Boris Becker? Or number 2, have I ever sat with Depeche Mode in a bar, had a party, and sang Happy Birthday to Martin Al Gore?
So one is true, one is a lie. So that's playing tennis with Boris Becker or singing Happy Birthday to Martin Al Gore. He's the blonde one from the little blonde one from Depeche Mode. Ryan, what do you think? Looking at
I am a connoisseur of all these subjects.
You are. Your mystic powers.
Wait, you've got the powers.
I'll say.
Why are you using that ear tip? What's that for?
It's for cleaning up with gigantic ear. Hold on.
I thought it was a number 3 paintbrush.
Oh no, it's like a thing.
Oh, it tickles again.
Oh, it's that smell of earwax.
Yes, that's
tasty.
It's
very,
a sponge.
Very tasty.
It's
Ow!
sorry.
That's very 3D.
Sorry. I've got all my things. Look, secrets of the what do you call it? Like I've got my waters here. That's for paint. For using for paint. You know. Gin. Yeah. And I've got this here for drinking whenever I run out of beer. Number 2.
Is it a lie or is it true?
Depeche Mode.
Oh, right. Is it true?
Okay, what will our audience think, Mark?
The audience, 1, 2. It's almost evenly split. They think, more seem to be going. Oh no, it's evenly split. We've got, it's down the middle.
So Ryan, you reckon it's
probably more saying tennis is untrue.
Yeah, I think the tennis is not true. I think the tennis is true. Or not true.
Not true.
Oh, which?
Or not true.
So Mechanized, which is the truth?
Boris Gore from Depeche Tennis.
I played with Boris against Depeche Mode tennis, yeah.
Yeah.
Aye, that's it.
So Mechanized, which one was it then? Which is true, which is a lie?
Number 2, I sat with Depeche Mode and we partied in a bar, and it was Martin Al Gore's birthday, and we sang him Happy Birthday on the day. So yeah, it's an unforgettable night for me. So yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Ryan, 2 for 2. 2 for 2 with your mystic powers.
Holy shit, huh?
That's with man or cheese.
Well, do you know what I want?
Not yet. So hold on, Patrick.
I'll tell you a crazy story. I once when it was Halloween and I was in Japan, and me and a friend went looking for a bar at really early in the morning, and we walked around the streets until it opened, and we started drinking really badly, really heavy, and we ended up. It was the end of the night, I ended up dressed up as a Japanese schoolboy on the stage with a Japanese band behind me, singing Frank Sinatra's "I Did It My Way" to like a whole audience of Japanese people who were staring at me and not clapping, not anything, just disgusted. They were absolutely disgusted, and I was like, "Oh, what a night!"
I'm quite disturbed with the thought that you're walking around Tokyo carrying a Japanese schoolboy's outfit.
I wasn't. Yeah. That was the weird.
Oh,
let me tell you. You didn't say that.
You didn't say that. Oh,
let me.
Oh dear.
Let me tell.
It was in your satchel, wasn't it? Your ACDC satchel.
Let me tell you this, right? What I was doing, I went to the toilets, right? I went to the toilet.
Oh, it gets worse.
In a boy's outfit. Oh dear.
No, I went to the toilet and I came back out, and my friend was standing on a tall table with all these Japanese people clapping and like singing some drinking song to him. He had a bottle of wine and he was gulping the bottle of wine, and they were clapping while he was drinking it. He then turned around and said to me, "Here, drink this bottle." I was like, "Oh my God, I can't drink wine." So I had to climb up onto the thing, drink the wine, went back into the thing, vomited it all up, came back out, and they had this schoolboy outfit and said, "Here, wear this schoolboy outfit." It was all these Japanese people, and they were like, they gave us, right, the schoolboy outfit, and he didn't want to wear it. So I then went, right, just give me the bloody outfit. I'll put it on, right? So I put it on, and I can't remember. It was like so much drinking, I can't remember. But all I remember is I was on that stage singing "I Did It My Way." But I don't know how I was singing it. I was singing it in STEMI Ho, like club singing. That's why they hated it. Yeah, that's why they hated it, because I didn't know the words, and I had the microphone, and I was like,
well, they're very fascinated by their karaoke.
Mm-hmm. Well, they love it.
They love it, and they're like spot on.
Oh God,
yeah, isn't it? It is.
Yeah, they love it, but I was not good. I was not good.
Oh.
It was terrible.
I've now got just a vision of a naked schoolboy tied up behind some club with their clothes on because they've nicked his clothes for you to wear.
Yeah, it'd be bloody Ryan Brown,
Mama son,
bloody Ryan Brown.
That's it. Yep.
So the rumours on the internet about you bringing out a Christmas album is totally false then, where you're going to sing a
Christmas album. Yes,
famous Japanese
yes,
music.
That's it. But here I can't play the spoons. I can play the spoons.
Do it, Joe.
And I've said before, like to Bisley, I said, if you want me to play the spoons, like, in a band or something, like. Like one of those sort of spoons, and I could come on with my spoons and I've been in parties where I've played spoons, right? I was at a friend's party, or actually at their wedding, and it was a party afterwards, and instead of playing spoons, I played two gigantic ladles, right? And I clapped, and I actually made the bride cry. I made her cry because my spoon playing was so bad.
Well, are they like bass spoons?
That's a true story as well.
Like bass spoons, because they're so
like
big.
Big giant ones like this here. I was like,
you are the reason that it was now.
Yeah, that's it.
So Ryan, we would, as the band V2A, we would love to invite you on stage with us at a festival sometime.
Oh shit! I need to do that.
And you can do a spoon solo.
Oh shit! I would love to do that. Yeah,
you
I would love to.
On.
And do you know what? I would like to get electric spoons, where you like plug them in the spoons
and light up.
That would be the best thing ever, wouldn't it? Oh my God.
And now on Electric Spoons, Mr. Ryan Brown.
unless you accidentally sort of short-wired yourself and electrocuted yourself, you'd have a Bob Holderness haircut then.
While you
totally.
Gig soup.
Yeah, totally zap myself before the thing, and then you all come onto the stage like crying and all. Oh, I'm afraid to say, Ryan's just killed himself. With his
Terry just shoots you.
spoons.
We've got a Terry. He just shoots you off stage if you're shit.
Oh, what? I don't even get on stage.
You just say, no, Terry, and you will be rocket shot.
Yeah, mechanized.
Just launched.
Do you want to explain to Ryan the Terry incident?
Oh yeah.
But Terry, I don't know if Terry's online, but Terry is our armorer, special pyrotechnics expert. Yeah.
Okay.
But he has like little hiccups in between. But he comes with with several explosives, rocket launchers. We had everything he's rolling up with. So yeah.
Holy shit! Well, I like the sound of that. Yeah, I like the sound of that.
So
they're supposed to be sort of safe.
Yeah, is there the man and cheese as well going? By the way,
what?
The man and cheese. Where's Patrick?
Man or cheese?
Man or cheese?
Oh, right.
No,
Man or
cheese.
Oh,
No.
right.
Not the manatee. We haven't got some big fish.
Not a manatee.
On now.
That's next
I was
week.
wondering, yeah.
Man and cheese.
Who the
Man and
man of
cheese.
Man and
cheese
cheese
was.
is something a little bit different. Man or cheese, it's a game. It's a fun and exciting game to play. See if you make it 3 for 3.
So
are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Engelbert Humperdinck, man or cheese?
Oh my God.
5, 4, 3.
Man.
No, actually a soft Belgian cheese.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've got one for you.
Jesus.
I've got one for
With
you,
a hint of
Ryan.
garlic.
So this is
Okay.
a hard one. Phil Collins, man or cheese?
Oh my God.
Think hard.
Man.
No, sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
dear
I should have
me.
known that one. That was an easy one.
That was an easy
These
one.
are all
That's an easy
cheeses. These are all cheeses. I didn't know.
Cheese
Some
is
of them
from-
are
my
men,
God.
some of them are cheeses.
Is
I'm just getting a drink.
Skelly? Is there one other one that you'd like to?
That's why I'm always on the alcohol. Now you understand me, Ryan.
Here's one. Here's an easy one. Terry Christian, man or cheese?
Cheese.
Oh, definitely
No,
cheese.
he's a man. He was
No,
No, he's cheese.
He's a
No, we're with
cheese.
you.
Was it right?
He's Mac cheese.
He's a man.
Right.
He's from
Man-made
Manchester.
cheese.
He's a professional
He's a
Mancunian.
Manchester man.
I'm with you on that one, Ryan. He's definitely cheese.
He's definitely cheese.
Definitely cheese.
He's-
Maybe
I'm
the
trying to-
jury's still out. They haven't tested yet.
So Ryan, is there anybody out there that you'd like to say a big shout out to?
I want to shout out to my mommy and the ice cream man that goes past the house really early in the morning and wakes everybody up.
That's nice.
Um,
Considerate.
I want to say hello to people that
You've thought about this, haven't you?
yes, all those people that have stole the toilet rolls in the what do you call them? Yeah, and I don't know. Eartha Kitt.
Oh,
Eartha
Cat.
Kitt. Eartha Kitt.
Catwoman. Oh God, she was.
Eartha Kitt, yeah. And who else?
She was Catwoman, wasn't she? In the Batman TV.
Oh, just
She was.
she was just.
Oh, here, can I play music?
Go for it.
Can you hear?
Try it. Go
for it.
Is that the music you have as your muse when you top
Yeah, here we go.
It's all the mountains as they rode up in Cali. She took me in the parlor and said, "What should be me bow?"
Get the spoons.
Spoons.
All right, that's enough of that.
That was
There you go.
awesome. Well, I think, guys,
You like that?
we're coming to the end of the show. Ryan, you've been an absolute star, mate.
Well, we have not chosen Bunker and Bin. I don't think we had the answer for Bunker and Bin yet, have we?
I think we.
Oh shit,
No, we
for
haven't.
me?
No. I have. The results are in.
Is it New Style Ninja Tortoise or Karen?
Well,
Karen, I think.
well, Ryan is 2-0 up, and he went for Karen, and the result is that it's Tortoise.
Yay!
Oh my God,
Tortoise.
I feel rejected.
There was one idea that we have an Imperator Karen, but it didn't
Imperator,
swing
yeah.
it.
It didn't swing it.
Oh shit!
No, very not.
Shit.
No. The tortoise had it.
So as a thank you for coming on, though, Ryan, we will dig out a Karen. We will try and find that action figure.
Oh my God,
Send it.
that'll be the
Post
best
it
thing
to
ever.
you. Yeah.
That'd be the best thing ever.
See,
Oh no.
our work here is done.
I can see it.
Real tears.
Running. You are,
I wish all
you
our
are
guests
not,
were so
man.
happy with this.
Oh God damn you! You made me cry again.
That's a bogey. That's a bogey.
Okay.
I don't like to show me emotions.
Or show your knees when you're wearing the school outfit. You know, that's.
That's it. Yeah. Here, can I show something?
Go for it.
Can I show?
Yeah.
So this is because I'm locked in all the time, right? Because I'm locked in, I've started doing episodes called Ryan Isolates, and this one is the number one is Simon Bisley's Nuggets of Knowledge, and it's on my Facebook and Instagram at the minute. So if you want to look at the episode or whatever, I'm going to do more, and we're going to I'm going to speak to Simon Bisley, and we're going to talk about art and stuff. But the intro one's out at the minute. Don't expect anything brilliant because it's shit, and but it's a good type of shit, good type of shit.
I was trying to work out what Ruggets of Knowledge was.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh. Nuggets.
Nuggets.
So
I think we are challenged as well for our next show. Well, we have to say something for the next show, Kevin. There's a change, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
To our shows going forward.
So what we're going to do the live shows just every Saturday night, because we've got so much work on, because we're halfway through the new album and doing some other projects as well. And then on every Wednesday we're going to post up how-to videos, how to do post-apocalyptic, armor, clothing.
Good.
Probably show some of the new or play some of the new songs. We're going to do some. Could we get you on, Ryan, to do some like a beginner's guide to drawing? If we do like a 15,
and that's the video,
like a 15-minute stream like this, and we get everybody to have a go at doing something simple just to get.
Yeah, we can do
and
that.
And they can send it in then the week after or something, and we can talk about it on the show.
That's it. I could do psychic. I could do the psychic drawing again.
I'm loving that.
Like
the psychotic drawing.
I think we're going to.
Tickles again, jeez.
Oh God, sorry.
The kinky version. We're gonna have to sell these ideas to ITV. This is
That's it. You had to avoid. You avoided that one, didn't you? I'm gonna got you. Got your ear there.
Oh dear, that's the
Can you do the other one? Hang about it now.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm gonna go for your ear now this time.
Yeah.
That's getting wrong now.
I know.
No, my ear. The ear.
Yeah, God, I was going to right here.
Oh,
Thank you. Job done.
Oh God, that's really dirty now. I have to get rid of that.
We would love to have you on though to do like a 15-minute beginner's guide to drawing, and just we can all have a go together, and you can sort of teach us something. Hell yeah! Look at that.
There you go. The host.
That's better than whatever I will come up with.
You just draw some lines, and then you just put the muscles on, and that's you done.
Green, I presume.
It's a bit like the Mutant Ninja.
Well, fellow
around him.
I think we have been challenged as well for our next live show next week.
Oh dear.
Am I seeing that right, Mark?
I haven't seen it.
Where are you looking?
At the chat, I think Tina Simons has challenged us.
Yeah, but she's a professional crochet artist.
Oh shit!
I think we're being up here. Oh, no, hang about.
Never trust those professional crocheters.
Or is it croquet? I can do croquet.
Yeah, it always turns bad.
I'm German. I don't even have a flipping clue what that is.
Potato croquet.
Crocheting, it's like all the knitting things, isn't it? The crochet.
No, sorry, no.
Or it's those people that don't know how to pronounce it, they say crochet.
Or is it the crotchet and the quaver?
That's it, crotchet, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of crotchet, and while I've been isolating, I crotcheting.
Ryan, what is your Instagram thing titled?
I have no idea.
Well, we can see in the top. We will share the link.
Yeah, it's it. Oh, hold on. Can I do this? I always wanted to do that. It's right there.
A bit further over. Up, there. Stop. Yeah, a bit down. There. No, they're too far down. Middle. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
That's right.
Not there. No. I'll put some clothes on now.
Yeah.
Look at my bandy arm. It looks like I actually don't have joints. It looks it's just like a big...
I'm mesmerized by it. I can't even look away now.
Look at that. What is going on here?
Can I have some of your drink, please?
I'm like Mr. Stretch. Look at that.
Is this all the years?
It's the
is this all
weirdest.
the years of being an exotic dancer? Is this where you get the moves from?
It is, yes.
No,
Yeah,
I think it's of isolation.
Oh, here, exotic dancer. Did you say? I've got Tina Turner music. Hold on, let me try and find her. Tina Turner. No.
DJ career's going right.
Here we go. Here, hold on.
career's gone.
It's Fat Boy Brown.
It's private dancer.
Yeah, that sounds like
Takes a
it.
while to
Just
get
strip down. Is that when you just throw your clothes off and stuff?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, hold on.
He's playing on a xylophone. I didn't realise there was a electric spoon break in Private Dancer.
It's a disco. I've got a lot of people here.
So, Ryan, is this
You
what
people,
happens?
that is what isolation does to you. So wait, that's where we will be in 1 year's time.
Can we go now?
Yeah,
If you work from home, this can happen to you.
yeah, that's how we will look like in a year's time.
So then, Ryan, next time we do a big festival, we'd love you to join us on stage in a
Okay.
Japanese schoolboy outfit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And do a 5-minute solo on the spoons.
And then get blown up by Terry.
All right. Okay.
While
I'll
Terry
do
tries
it. Right.
to blow you up with explosives.
If I'm free, I'll do it. Yes. If I'm free and I haven't got a lot of work.
That's a cop out.
No, it's not. It's not. This
If I'm
this
free.
is the absolute.
If I'm
like,
not on the pot with Beasley, more likely.
he can come in on the other side with the spoons as well. We can
That's true.
you come into the middle.
You have a spoon off.
No, I'm up for it. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a definite. Also, one quick question. So, if you and Simon Beasley were a tag team wrestling team,
Okay.
which two other artists would you fight?
Oh, Glenn Fabry, because he's really thin, and I need to pick somebody who's really small as well.
Somebody you can beat up.
That's it. Who could have beat up this really small, like a small artist? Boo Cook.
So it's Ryan Brown
Or
and
Clint Langley.
Simon Beasley against Boo.
Yep. Clint Langley, because I'll give him like loads of whiskeys before, and then he'll be drunk, so it'll be easy.
He will do everything.
I think, guys, we are just about to call it a day. We've overshot a little bit, but that's sort of.
But it was
But
well
that was
worth
well with
it.
it. So, any final words from you, Ryan?
No.
No.
Was no the final word?
Yes is.
Yes. No is the final
Yes
word.
is the final. Yes is the final word. Oh shit! Word was the final word, wasn't it?
Sorry, it's the hardest word apparently.
Oh, and I said it. That means it is the final.
But seriously, mate, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute storm.
No problem. No, thanks for inviting me into your houses and stuff. I've got a good look at your houses now. I know what your houses look
and
like.
Also, everybody's now got their own Ryan Brown mystical art drawn picture.
That's it. Yeah. Everybody that was there for the live thing,
That'll be good. Mine's going straight on eBay straight after this. I'll tell you, I'll be.
God damn you! God damn it! I'm gonna write to everybody. To Kevin Drone.
Mike's already got his on eBay.
Has he?
About half an hour
God
ago.
damn it!
What do you mean? Who? Oh, god damn it!
Yeah.
Disgusted.
But I don't think
You mean Mick Ramsey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's always Mick
Mr.
Ramsey.
Squeaky Pants Ramsey.
But I don't
God
think
damn you, Mick Ramsey! This is for your eyeball. This is for your eyeball, Mick. You're never going to see my art again.
Oh, a
So forget your psychic TV. We've got psychic art.
one last
That's
quick
it, yeah.
question. So
Rest in peace.
I've got a quick question for Ryan. So, do you have any popular drinking games? Because we had one. We invented a drinking game for the Eurovision Song Contest, and we had a load of judges, Mega City One judges online. And every time there was either a fireworks went off, you had to do a swig, or somebody with a beard man or woman.
Oh shit!
And by the halfway through the show,
a woman with a beard.
Halfway through the show, we were absolutely trolleyed. That was a brilliant party drinking game.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh, Blackie, you missed us.
Right.
Nearly.
So
Blackie just
not again.
So
drinking games. Yeah. Drinking games.
Need to get that man a watch.
We used to listen to lots of pirate music, you know. And whenever the pirates, as in pirates, yes, pirate music. Do you know, like the music I like, you know, the pirate.
Oh dear.
And every time they would like say like a certain word or whatever, we'd be like drinking, yeah. But it used to be like these songs, like a parrot, I be, and all this here, and we used to be I actually fell asleep with one eye open. Right, I was sleeping with one eyeball open, and it was supposedly people said it was terrifying, you know. So yeah, it's any parrot. Get yourself a lot of parrot music, you know, and then pick a word, and then just every time it plays, just drink it. Yeah, and also make yourself get yourself big shells from the beach, and then put like a candle on top of it. And then you can put those and then listen to your parrot music with those. Also, get yourself like an eye patch and like a thing and like a fake musket and a fake sword.
What's going on?
Oh my god.
That's fun for the tour bus if we ever go on one again.
We did invent. We had a Judge Dredd drinking game. We tried it in one of Mick Ramsey's.
What? Hold on a second. Did you say Mick Ramsey? I said, get out of here, Mick Ramsey, for God's sake. You slime ball.
So what we did
slime ball,
we took a load of vodka into the cinema while we were watching Dredd 2012, and every time Dredd shot somebody, we had a swig. But he kills like 96 people in the show, so that was good. What about every time you see him with his helmet on?
Really.
Every time you see him with his helmet on. Yeah. I like that one. That's a great draw for that.
You just drink. Yeah, I always loved all the Judge Dredd sort of conventions and stuff, because it was like I liked I would sit at the table with all my prints and stuff and sell my prints, and then all my print money would go for drinks that night, you know, and literally it would be like, where is everybody going to the bar, you know, and we would meet up in the bar and everybody would just get absolutely busted. It was insanity, you know. And it's like, you know, the UK conventions are just all about drinking. It's the best ever.
And the problem is,
I know, that's what I mean.
And the problem,
will you?
Are we there, Kev? Are we there?
One last question. Will you ever go back and draw Dredd again?
Yeah, I would like to. But opportunities haven't arisen, you know. It's definitely a character I like drawing. Definitely. I don't know how many covers I did, maybe 10 and stuff during my time, like at 2008. But I definitely would like to draw more. I would like to draw more Judge Death as well.
Yeah.
Like, I like the character. He's like all creepy. And I had this thing where I was basically drawing him like a mummified body, you know. I like to I'm burping again because of that beer. But I like to make them all really creepy looking. Looked at a lot of reference of all these mummified bodies, all these all the crumbling skin and stuff, and cracked, you know, big cracks and stuff. And that's kind of my big cracks. See, Helena's sitting over there, and she just laughed whenever I said big cracks because she doesn't know what I'm talking about. She can't hear you. All she heard was big cracks. Big cracks. But no, I definitely would like to do more Judge Dredd stuff. But again, it's like I'm just going through characters. I'm doing a lot of 2000 what am I doing? Marvel and DC stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of that at the minute, and we'll see what happens in the future. I don't know, but
it was a pleasure to have you on the show. It was absolutely fantastic.
It wasn't at all.
We ran over time. It was really great to have you. It was great fun.
Well, thank you.
Seriously, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
We actually wanted to talk to Alina, but hey, what the hell?
Shut up.
But seriously,
Can't move that quick.
thank you so much, Ryan, and we'd love to have you on again for like if we could maybe for like a 15-minute. Just
yeah, of course. Yeah, of course we'll do. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Yeah, yeah. Oh shit, my ears have went. Oh, one of my plugs.
And then I would like to say to everybody on the show who joined in on our live cast, thank you so much for joining in and being part of that. I don't know how you guys are getting on with your isolation, but I certainly start to struggle to being locked away in this house because I'm not used to this, and I really look forward now to our live shows. So, and meet you all, and really grateful that you all join in, take part of whatever we do, the crazy shit we talk, and thank you so much. So please look after yourself. Help me. No, so yeah, please stay home. Make sure that this isolation shit is over soon and we get this virus behind us. So stay safe, and I can't wait next week. Love you all.
Okay, Ryan, any goodbyes before you go?
No,
he's not.
No,
well, we're going to get you back.
No, but
we'll get you back on again. Anyway,
sure, everybody, and
thank
I
you.
hope you all like the little drawings and stuff, and also thanks for like inviting me on and stuff.
It's been
good fun, and
fun.
Everything's good with drink. So if you're isolated, just drink yourself into an oblivion. You know, that's the. And also, isolation is not easy.
But drinking is.
Drinking helps.
Is, yeah.
Honestly, I seriously think if we finish with this isolation, I will be a drunk. Jesus.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. I know. Well, be a drunk.
Will be.
I'd like to give a shout out to Blackie, who's having a bit of a shit time by the look of things.
Oh, Blackie, big hug to you. Everything will be all right at the end. We all get through this shit all together as one.
I'm sending a par.
Yep. Okay. Cheers, guys. Thanks, Chatville.
And just to say, next Saturday we have a special guest who is Mark Corduroy, who's a post-apocalyptic famous builder, and he also used to work in Doctor Who on special effects. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. And also a massive thank you to all the doctors and nurses out there who are looking after us all. And